Good afternoon. So it's an honor to be with you. I want to say thank you to my brother Eugene for inviting me to this encounter. And I'm going to treat something on leadership, mostly from my own experiences, mostly also from my background as a Christian and a Catholic priest. And I can assure you that this is not exhaustive of what you can know about leadership. But I pray that at the end of this, you would have learned something so that in any corner that you have to be a leader, however small the group may be, some of the principles I use, which I will share with you, may be helpful to you. The question is, who is a leader? John C. Maxwell has said something. He says the leader knows the way, so he himself knows where he's going to. The people who follow him or her know that he knows or she knows where she's going to. People are ready to follow only those who know where they are going to. If the people who are following you feel that you don't have any direction, any focus, you don't know what you are about, they are not ready to follow you. So the leader must know the way, and the leader must go the way. So he knows the way, he himself is going the way, so that others believe that this is the right way to go. If you know the way, but you are not going the way, not many people will want to follow you. Then shows others the way. So this is where John C. Maxwell ends. But I add, and is able to influence others to go that way. So this person is able to influence others to go that way. So he knows the way. He himself is going the way. Others will follow him because he goes the way himself. If you were introducing a product to me and you were telling me that this product is good, and I saw that you were not using it yourself, I'll think twice about it. But if you were introducing a product to me and you were using the product yourself, then you are showing me the way. And so a number of companies I have realized will like their workers to use their own product to show others that they use it too and it is good. So he must know the way and go the way and show others the way. Oh, this is good. Why not? Use it too. I had a few friends who worked with now Telecel, but was at the time Vodafone. And they were encouraging that we all get a Vodafone SIM. And I knew that they had MTN SIMs, but they also had to get a Vodafone SIM to show me that the way to go is to go with Vodafone. Then at some point, some of them will leave Vodafone and go to MTN. And I'm wondering what they are going to do. I have friends who work with the banks and they join any bank and they themselves create an account there, and they want you to also create an account there. And when they leave that place, they go somewhere else to convince you that you must come along. They must also go where they have gone now. So you must go the way for others to feel that it is worth it following you. Then you show others, oh, come there. This place is good. If you come that way, you will enjoy it because I am there myself. And you influence them so that they go the same way. Now, understand that because I am Christian, I will bring this in by all means. Because I'm Catholic, I'll bring this in by all means. A Christian leader is attached to Christ. Now, every leader in the church, I understand, is a follower. The leader himself is a follower. I am, like he described, the parish priest of St. Bakita Catholic Church. But above me is a dean of that deanery. And above him is the bishop of that diocese. And above the bishop is the pope. And above the pope himself is God himself. So everyone who is a leader himself is a follower. And every one of us must understand that we follow. So the way we follow will tell us or will teach us about how others will follow us. So they say that the best leaders themselves are followers. If you are not a good follower, you cannot be a good leader. So Jesus will say that the sheep that are mine, they know my voice. They hear it and they follow me. And they will not follow another who is a stranger, because they do not know his voice. So all those who are leaders in the church themselves have somebody above them. And if you think you don't have anybody above you at all, certainly you have Jesus Christ above you. So you must be in touch with the one who is the leader, with God. So I do that with Mass, with the Rosary Prayer, with personal prayer time before the Blessed Sacrament, scripture reading. And my leaders pray together. We come together whenever there's going to be a program. We have to pray into the program. We have to pray and ask the one who is our ultimate leader to tell us his will for the program. So we ourselves understand that we are also followers. And so we are accountable. We are accountable to those who are ahead of us. Sometimes even those who are under us. So we are accountable to God, because he's the ultimate. We are accountable to the leaders who are above us. I'm accountable to the bishop. So the bishop can call me anytime and give me any assignment. So I have a leader above me. Then to the followers, those who are my parishioners, I am accountable to them. So I usually will communicate to them. Any new plan we have, I have to stand in church and explain to them so they understand. We are starting a new station not too far from us. I had to stand in church and explain to them the necessity for that, so that they will come along. I told them, we are in Community 20. The nearest church to us may be in Community 13. That is Sakumono, called Corpus Christi Catholic Church. Not too far from it, we have St. Raphael. We have St. Raphael. But right from Shalom Spot Junction, those who know the area, to Ashaiman, there is no church. So we want to start a church there. And I have to explain to them why the need for the church. And then explain to them how the church is even going to begin. So I'm accountable to them. And when I explain to them and they understand, then everything goes smoothly. Then people begin to ask, Father, what can we do? Because we understand the concept. We know it is necessary. What can we do? So people come along. Okay, Father, I am a mason. What do we have to do there? I'll do it. Or I work with the municipal assembly. Do we have to plant any signpost to the new church? Oh, Father, I am a painter. I can do something. Everybody wants to come along because they understand what we are doing. I know I am accountable to them. I've explained to them. They understand it and they are coming along. One of the principles I don't joke with at all is a principle in the church that says respect the donor's intention. I know I'm accountable to the people, so when they give donations for A, I use it for A. If I will not use it for A, I will have to come back to them to explain to them that no, for a good reason, A may not be the best at the moment. So can we use it for B? I'll give you an example. So when I got to the church, we didn't have a mission house. So I lived at another place and I drive to the church to work. So we did a fundraiser, the first one, and somebody said, oh, Father, I'll give you 100,000 cedis for the mission house. But the person gave us $20,000. And it was for the mission house. But we had not even started the mission house. We had not gone for permit. We have not done anything like that. So one day I came to church. I stood at the back. Somebody else was having mass, first mass for me. I was going to do the second one. So I get to the chapel and I stand at the back. It's a huge church. You didn't see my screensaver, you would have seen. It's a huge church. I stood at the back and I could not hear anything. So I asked those who are at the back, what is happening here? Is this what happens every Sunday? He said, we don't hear anything. And then I asked, so you don't hear anything and you are sitting here? The chapel is so big, there are empty spaces in front and you are still at the back. But it became clear to me that we have a problem. And the problem is not where I will sleep, but the problem is that we don't have a good PA system in the church. Immediately, somebody's $20,000 he had given to us is what came to mind. Now, I could have easily gone for the $20,000 and used it for the PA system. And the person will be looking out for the mission house to start. And if it doesn't start, he begins to think, the $20,000 I gave to this man, what has he used it for? So I called the woman. I sit with her. I say, Madam, you gave us $20,000 for a mission house. But at the moment, I don't think the mission house where I will sleep is the most important. If we come to worship and the people who come to worship cannot hear what I'm saying, there is a big problem. By the time I finish building the mission house and have a place to sleep, all my congregants will be gone. So I think this is more important than the mission house. He says, okay, Father, whatever you want to use it for, that's fine. So I was happy. Now, I've saved myself the perception that he has used our money. And at least my conscience is clear. So I sleep and sleep well. Now, what happened? About a week after, this woman sends an extra $25,000 and says, okay, now I know I have your attention. Now I know I have your attention. Now, she sends another $25,000. At the time when the money came, I was driving. So I saw the pop-up. When I saw the 25,000, I packed. I had to pack. So I packed. Then I checked the message and I saw, Father, I have sent you an extra $25,000 for the PA system. And a good PA system for the huge is very expensive. So, and I said, wow. Now, this time I didn't ask. But why did she send it to me? So Saturday after that, she comes to my place. She says, Father, I would like to have a conversation with you. So, Father, can I use your PC? So I turn the PC for her. And then she types. She gives me her profile. She works with one of these international finance institutions. She's there. Says, Father, so this is where I work. I was thinking you'll be wondering where I'm taking the money from. And I'm giving you this much. But why did I give you $25,000? I came to church myself and I was a little late. And I stood at the back. And when I stood at the back, I realized I could not hear anything. Then immediately it occurred to me, this is what Father Hilary was talking about. And that is why I sent you $25,000 extra. Now, the point I'm making is this. I am accountable to them. And it is the reason why I went to talk to her. That you have given me this much and you gave it for this purpose. If I'm not going to use it for that purpose, I must come back to explain to you that the money you gave for A, I'm not going to use it for A, I'll use it for B. And you accepted. And once you accepted, she understood what I wanted to do with the money. And that is the reason why she gave me extra. If I didn't tell her, I wasn't going to get it. I hope you understand me. Yes. Then I am accountable to myself also. You must set standards for yourself as a leader. So that sometimes you go back to it and say, am I achieving this for yourself? Not for anybody, not for the leader above you, not for the followers, but for yourself. It is important that you realize you are also accountable to yourself. Of course, it means that you'll be drawing budgets, you'll be doing financial statements, you'll be doing all of these things for the good of the organization. That is number one. Number two, a good leader has vision. I have some scripture text there. I won't talk too much about them, but if you read them, it will help you. A good leader has vision. Now, if the person has vision, he has insight. He's able to notice the minutest details in an issue. So people are talking about the same issue, but the leader is looking at the issue and he's seeing a lot more details than other people are seeing. Somebody will place, a program we are about to have. With me about a business they want to start. And she says she wants to do a cold store business. And says, Father, once I get a fridge, I am okay. I said, no, it cannot be. A fridge alone is not enough. In these times, we still have light off, isn't it? So if you are doing a cold store business and you don't have alternative power supply, you have a problem. Because all the meat and the fish you have in there is spoiled. Your money is gone. You must be thinking about that too. You say, hey, I didn't think about that too. So what about where you are going to place the thing? He says, we have an old shop. I said, have you gone into the shop the last 1 year? She says, no. I said, then obviously there are a number of things you must do in there also. So one who is a leader will look at everything you give to them and have a lot of things to pick out. A number of times, I think because of my background in philosophy, people think that I am long because I'll ask questions. I'll probe a lot lot of the times. At the school, when the teachers are coming to see me for anything, or the students are coming to see me for anything, when they are coming, they say, so Father Hilary will ask a lot of questions. So they will come prepared to answer any question I have. From the beginning, they didn't know me like that. So they will come and I'll ask this and ask that, and they will realize, I didn't look at the thing holistically. So a good leader must look and probe into detail. Go to the first principles is important. And he must have foresight. He sees further than others, and so can make good predictions. Sometimes it is not just he who is seeing, others may be seeing, and he is ready to accommodate the seeing that another person has. So maybe I have not had a vision about something. Somebody has had it. The person comes with it, and we move along. My Archbishop says, I have a vision. We must build a children's hospital. How come? He sees that we have only one children's hospital in Accra, and that is Princess Louis Marie Hospital. The rest are all small departments in various hospitals. So he says he wants to have a hospital like this. And we all buy into the vision. And in 1 year, the structure is up. We are looking at tiling and all those other things so that the equipment will come. And then the hospital will begin. But when you have vision, it is not enough. You must have a plan to execute and come to the conclusion of this vision. When we were in the seminary, I've been privileged to be leader many times. So I was the SRC president at the time. Now in the seminary, the SRC president is not, I don't know how yours is like, but it's in other tertiary institutions where you can do choboi. No, you can't do that. If you do choboi, you go home. So we went to the seminary first year in theology, and we asked for a bus from our bishops. They didn't give us. Second year, the SRC president asked for a bus. We didn't get it. Third year, and this is it. Every year, 2 bishops will visit. One in the first semester, the other in the second semester. So whenever the bishop comes, the SRC president will give a speech, and he will mention, we need a bus. The bishop will write it down, go. Nothing happens. Second one will come, go. Nothing happens. So for 3 years, then we went on what we call pastoral year, more like an attachment, and then came back. And we decided that we are not going to ask the bishop for a bus. We are going to try to get a bus ourselves. Now, we had a vision. Some people thought, why are you going to work at having a bus? Because you cannot finish it during your term. People are very funny. Some people think that the project is worth it only when you can put your name on it. So if you cannot finish the project this year, you cannot put your name on it, SRC 2020 something. And because of that, don't start it. It is too big. We said, no, we will start it. And even if they finish it in 2 years or 3 years, why not? So we hatched a plan. What was the plan? We just had to raise money. 2 ways we're going to raise money. We're going to send letters to people. They will give us money. And then we're going to go around selling the school magazine. So influential ones like Father Kujo, Father Salifu, Father Mike, they all came along. Those days were not priests yet. We had to take a car and come to Accra, go to Takrady or go to Kumasi to sell the magazines. And we had to spread the word that we have a problem with our bus. What was it? The bus was registered A. And at the time, we had reached 2007, I think. So if the bus was registered A, the bus was very old. Now, this bus was the same one that to go to Techiman and bring us yams. When it is going, we go under the bus, unscrew the seats. It was a Benz bus. Take the seats out, it will go and come back with the yams. And then we'll go under, screw it back, get the seats inside. And we'll go. The bus will be moving in town and the door will just open by itself. And I remember one time, the bus came back and the seminarians had to go to the Anglican seminary for a program, but we didn't have time to screw back the seats. So what happened? They put chairs in the bus, which meant that if the bus was moving and there was brake, everybody just goes back like that. So that was the problem we had. We had to solve it. We looked ahead and thought that we could get a bus. So we started the process and we had a plan. And we went along with the plan. By the time we were leaving, we didn't have a bus. But the next year after us, they got 2 buses. So the leader must have a plan and must see beyond the current and must go into the future. He must have hindsight. He must learn from the past. He must learn from the past. I have many examples here, but it may delay us a bit. So you can have sight, but no vision, someone says. He says sometimes you are talking to a blind man and he says, oh, I see. Oh, I see what you are saying. So he is not just seeing with his eyes, but he is saying he can appreciate, he can understand. And there are many who claim they are leaders, but cannot look beyond the present. You must look beyond the present. Sometimes you must look backwards and learn from what has happened in the past so that you can move forward. Knowing where you are going, how you are going to get there, and what you will do after you get there is very, very important. So at my former station, a lot of children could not go to school. So we hatched a plan. We want to start an education fund. The school itself, the church itself doesn't have it. But the youth came together. What did they do? They did what we call susu box, piggy boxes. Gave it to each person at Lent. So the period of Lent is 40 days. So they gave it to everybody. You take it home. While you are fasting, you are putting the money in the piggy box. When we are done with Lent, we collect them. And you would have thought that these are small amounts that will come. But the first seed money we got at the first Lent was over 10,000 Ghana cedi from collecting those boxes. And that is how the education fund began. So you don't just look at the current, you must look beyond the current, and you must look into the future, and you must have a plan for it. We have to be innovative. My youth have used many ways to be innovative. And they have found many ways of raising money. Sometimes they have done so by creating a kitchen, by selling stuff so that church members will buy and they will make some money. If they want to start a program or want to have a program, they come to me and they tell me, Father, we already have this much. Why don't you add that much to us? It's because they have been very innovative. They have this. Then we go for sponsorship. Sometimes they will go around and sell tickets for the programs they want to have. And so they're able to do a lot of things. Normally, we would have relied on collection for, or what we call offering for all the funds. But the young ones decided that if they are going to have a program that is very expensive, then they have to find a way to raise the money. And the leaders found a way, somehow, some way. And they will go around and raise money from sponsorship from corporate bodies. And then they will sell stuff, start a business to raise funds, and they will use it together. And when they are done, they will bring out the income and expenditure for you to see. And they have a plan. So, for instance, they have a program that is bringing Dinah Hamilton to the church. They have a whole plan right from January to May. What we'll do on this date, what we'll do on that date. And it is all to realize this vision. So, be intentional about it. Have a plan. And try and stick to it as much as possible. It must be specific. It must be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. They say it must be smart. I have said this to my young people a lot. Money is not our biggest problem. Lack of ideas is. If you have an idea, somebody may be ready to add something to the idea by way of money. Intentional leadership, intentional action, intentional success. That is what will come. A good leader is an example. Number 3. Pope Francis was speaking to us priests and he said, the shepherd must smell like the sheep. What does he mean by that? The shepherd who smells like the sheep actually associates with the sheep. And that is why he smells like the sheep. So I remember that I had to work in a place called Taiman. And when I got there, their church service was supposed to start at 8. So at 7, I was dressed. I was living with a family. And I was going to church. And a young girl in the house asked me, Father, where are you going to? I said, oh, I'm going to church. So, but the mass has not started yet. It is not time. At the time, she was like 10 years. I said, yes, but it will take me about 30 to 40 minutes to walk to the place. So I want to start my journey. He said, oh, Father, you are going too early. Church service starts at 8. I was going at 7. It will take me about 30 to 40 minutes to get there. He says, you are going too early. I didn't listen to her. So I started the journey. When I was going, it started raining. I had to hide in an Agbenosi bar in my cassock. And I'm wondering if somebody saw me, what they would think. Father is in cassock and he's standing at an Agbenosi bar, a blue kiosk. That day rained heavily. Their place that doesn't have a roof. At the time it was a small church, so we didn't have mass. The next Sunday, I dressed up very early. The young girl saw me again, asked, Father, why are you going this early? I said, mass is at 8. I'm starting off at 7. It should not be a problem. He said, no, you are going too early. So I got there. Mass was supposed to start at 8. And the people were not there. Even the catechist was not there. It was 8:30. Still the people were not there. It was around 8:45 that some people were arriving. And around 9:15, we started. Then I understood why the young lady said that you were going too early. Okay. The next Sunday, I went very early. I got there. It was 7. It was 8. I didn't start. It was 8:30. We were only 3. I started. So by the time others came around 9:15, we were in the middle of the service. We closed quite early. Some people were not happy. The small boy, he's too known. When did he come here? The next time I went, instead of 8:30, I started at 8:15. So those who came at 9 and thought that, oh, we heard that it was at 8:30, came at 8:30. When they came, I started. By the time I was leaving there after 8 weeks, mass was starting at 8. Because I had to set the example. Come early, set the place early, and start early. And once they realized that I was going the way, they had to follow me. And they had to follow me. Another example, one time I came down, and at my former station, the youth were supposed to be working. So I came down in my shorts and my t-shirt. I was coming to join them to work. And somebody saw me immediately and said, Father, go and tell them to come and work. I said, no, I won't do that. I'm sure they'll be insulting me. They won't do that verbally so I can hear. But in their heads, they'll be insulting me. So I won't do that. What did I do? I picked a broom to sweep. So somebody came, oh, Father, you cannot sweep. Then he took the broom from me. Then I picked another broom. Someone else came, oh, Father, no, you cannot be sweeping. I took the broom. I picked another broom. Another person came, no, you cannot do this. I picked another. By the time they realized, I had distributed all the brooms. Then I picked a rag to clean. Oh, Father, no, you can't clean. Then another person came. No, Father, you can't clean. Then they took it. By the time I realized, everyone was working. Why? Because the leader was working with them. So people like to go with you if you are going the way yourself. And I know this young man, Tony Baini, was my youth leader. Oh, everyone loved to go along with him because he was a beautiful example. And if you are a leader who is ready to sacrifice for the people, they know that the little you have, you are ready to share with them. They are ready to go all the way for you. When I have money, I call the boys around. We buy some wache and we eat. And I eat with them. So wache in a bowl, big bowl. Everybody has his hand in there and we are eating. After all, that is how we were eating before. What is the problem? So we all eat together. They know that when they are in need and I have a little, I'll spend on them. And so they are ready to go with me. Number 4, a good leader knows his sheep and calls them by name. Knows his sheep and call them by name. This is very important. People care about what you care about only when they know that you care about them. People care about what you care about only when they know that you care about them. If they don't see that you care about them, they don't care about whatever you care about. And I realized this very early. So those who work at my church, I know their names. I know their families. I know their homes. I share in their joys and in their sorrows. In fact, for my parishioners, even when they celebrate their birthday, my secretary will send me their names and their numbers, and I either call them or send them a voice note of prayer. And you cannot imagine what difference it makes for them. That, Father, you know my birthday. What they don't realize is that they have given their contacts and their names already and their birth dates already. So they are forgotten. We collected data from them. So from that data, I know when it is your birthday and when it is not. So when they give it to me, I call you or I send you a voice note. And they are so excited all the time. That's, wow, Father, you know my birthday and you have taken time to send me a voice note. Then this man was my gardener. And he gave birth to a baby boy and came to tell me. And he lived around Abokobi. The church is in Tema. So I asked one of the young men to come along with me. I packed a few things. I put it in a car. And I drove to his house just to visit him because he has given birth to a baby boy. It changed everything. The man was working, yes. But when I visited him and came back and he came to work, he was working hard. Because he realized that I cared about him. I cared about his family. I cared about everything that went on with him. I shared in his joy. Sometimes somebody has lost a relative. The person is a church member. You must go be with them. Or somebody has lost a child or somebody like that. You must go be with them. Recently, there was a flood in my area. I went to those who were affected. Not only my church members, even those who were close by. So, it is important that you show that you care about people. If you don't show them that you care about them, forget about it. They will not care about what you care about. So you must study them. You must know them so that you can relate with them. I've told my youth that where the youth are active, they are usually friends. When they are close to each other, they are friends. They are active. When one person is moving for a program, he will invite his friends. He will come along with his own constituency. They will all come with him. He's a parliamentarian. He has a constituency. So they come with him. It is very important. So we visited them in their schools. This is Holy Child. This was KNUST. I'm not sure where this is, but there are many pictures. We have gone to many schools. SHS. We go to their schools. We visit them with something small in a bag. We are showing them that we care about them. We talk to them, we pray with them, we move on to the next one. The last time we went to the Eastern region, we started from Krobo Girls. We went as far as to St. Peter's and then came to St. Rose's in one day. And when they see that the leader cares that much, they all get involved. They are ready to go with you. Their parents will hear about it. Wow. So Father was able to travel all the way to come to you. This is beautiful. So when I say, let's go, everybody comes along. Because they realize that you care about them. Now, a good leader delegates. He communicates. He encourages and rewards when the team does well. You cannot be 1 man 1,000. You are not fish. Some people want to do everything by themselves. You do not know it all. You cannot do it all by yourself. A good leader gives the right people some job to do. The right people some job to do. And motivates them to do it well. When I got to Simbakita, I know one of my media team members says he does a job here sometimes. Sydney. I don't know whether some of you may know him. When I got there, you know him. Yeah. So when I got there, my first meeting with the leaders of the church, they were having a conversation. That was in 2019, just before COVID. And in the conversation, they mentioned the media team. And when they mentioned the media team from the youth, somebody just brushed it off and they went on. So after the meeting, I asked, do you have a media team here? They said, yes. I said, okay, create a page and add me. They said, oh, we have a page already. So they added me. So I got onto the page and I asked them, oh, what do we need? Can you put together a document for me? They said, Father, we have a document already. They put the document there. I looked at the document and it was beautiful. That is what we have used for the past 4 years. And anyone who comes to our church marvels at what we have in place. There are cameras they use for streaming, the sound system we have in the church, the website and the way they have designed it, everything comprehensive, they had put it together. They had this much with them in terms of personnel and know-how, but they had not tapped it. You cannot do it alone. Look at those who are close by you. Use them. In any case, when it goes well, everyone will praise the leader. You are the one who has done well. So what did I do? I brought these guys close to me. We gave them a little bit of what they need. And what they did with it. Oh. So look out for the people around you. Empower them. Give them everything they need if you can. Give them what you can and allow them to work. And motivate them to do so. And see what they will give you. This media team is what I'm proud of. So much in my church. One time a young man was doing a research and came to my office and said, "Father, I chose your church because I realized that your website is frequently updated. It is current." I said, "Wow. Of course, if it is current, I am not the one who is doing it. Trust me, I don't know how to upload anything on a website. But I have people who can do it. So why do I worry myself? I can't do it all by myself." Some people are very happy. When they are not around, nothing moves and they are happy. When they are around, everything is moving. When they leave, nothing moves. When they leave and something is moving, they are not happy. Because people should miss them. That when they were around, it was going well. When they were not around, it wasn't going well. No, you are not a good leader if you behave that way. When you are not around, everything cannot come to a standstill. When I'm not in the parish, my assistant knows everything. Everything goes well. I went on leave for a bit, and I didn't have to call him once. Because he knows what is going on in the parish. He knows who to consult for anything. And there are people to help. When I'm not around, the assistants at the SHS, because I have so much. At the moment, I'm even a student at the University of Ghana Business School. Doing my MSc in finance and accounting. I'm a lecturer. I teach at 2 different seminaries. I am headmaster. I'm in charge of a church. I have other commitments. So if I don't have others to help me, forget it. If I don't allow others to do their job and do it well, forget it. None of the institutions will go on well. So you communicate and you communicate clearly. He doesn't keep things to himself. He uses social media in this day to communicate with the people and allows others to make inputs. Let people talk. Let them share their ideas. He does evaluation and controlling. You have a, what do we call it? A goal to reach. And you are moving towards the goal. It is important that you control because not everybody understands the goal and people are moving sideways. So you must bring everybody on track. And that is what I mean by he controls. He or she is ready to take responsibility when they fail. Oh yes, I admit we have failed. He or she is fair, objective, and reasonable. Sometimes it is difficult. You have to fire some people. And the leader must be courageous enough and fair enough to do so. Otherwise, if you don't set the standards, it will not go well. The last one. A good leader is resilient. If the desirable is not available, make the available desirable. If the desirable is not available, make the available desirable. So the leader does not cry because he doesn't have everything he wants. You won't always get it right. You won't always get it all perfect. I was taken to a first station when I was a young seminarian, and it was a very lively one. It was a beautiful one. I lived with the family, and in that family's house, my room had everything, the best of everything. Those days, there was a ghetto blaster that has written under it X bars. If you had that, you were champion. It couldn't even take a CD those days, but it was the best. I had one. The whole house had one. I had a washroom, a bathroom to myself. The whole house had one. I was enjoying the best of everything for 6 weeks. It was my first pastorals. Then I was taken to a second place after that. It was a compound house. My room was a very slim one, like this. Student mattress on a bed, a chair and a table, and that was all. And there was a taxi rank just in front of the house. So from my room to the taxi rank is just about from here to the end of the lecture hall. So the taxi driver sits there, usually while in our wait time, waiting for passengers to come. The place where we vote, I'm not sure whether you understand me. The place where we vote is this way. It is made with roofing sheet. When I say the place where we vote, you go with a ballot paper. You understand? Okay. Toilet. You go with your ballot paper. It is this way. Now, there is nothing in that direction except that. So if you are going there, everyone knows what you are going to do. What is your intention? What is your mission? It's very clear. Now, understand that the taxi rank is very close. So if you are shy, when they are playing their draft, you go and stand by them small, and then you move there. Now, even if you move there, you will come out. When you come out, taking fresh air, everybody will see you. And when you are entering the place, you will have to be humble. Whoever you are, you have to bend down and go inside. And it is not a WC. Now, you are a young man who grew up in Tema and you have come to a place like this. It's a small village. You have to do with that. You cannot run away. The place where you bath is open top, like that. That's kind of a bathroom that you enter like that. When you are bathing, everyone can see your head. So when the children are passing to school, they are waving you, Father. Because it is a very small town. So everyone would have noticed you once you are in this. So everyone calls you Father. And I remember that one time one of my mates was saying, he went to the place where we go and vote. And he found a snake there. And so could not go there again. But luckily for him, there was a public toilet that was built just behind the house. So he started going there. So you have to be in line. And when people come, Father, good morning. Father, good morning. And you have to be in line. Public toilet is the place where you learn patience the most. Because if you don't feel like it, you don't join the line. But if you join the line, you have to be patient. Because there are people ahead of you and there's somebody inside. He has to come out. Now, all of these I experienced in this place, but it was a joy. Because the focus was the souls of the people who were there. And once I was achieving the reason or the aim for coming there, I was happy. And the people were enthusiastic. So it was beautiful. Point I'm making is, there are times when it will be beautiful. Other times it will not be. There are times when it will be pleasant. Other times it will not be. The leader must be resilient. The leader must be resilient. When I got to my new station, I was using a car that was given to me by Eugene's parish. It was an old pickup. The pickup left me at the airport twice. It left me on the N1 once. It left me at Sotum once. It left me at so many places. Now, if you don't take care, you get discouraged because you are feeling like, I'm doing my best. Why don't I get the tools I need? I'm saying, if the desirable is not available, make the available desirable. Let people see what you are doing, where you are doing it, and let them feel like, this guy doesn't have it all, but he's doing it well. That is when you show that you are a leader. That is where you show that you are a leader. Sometimes it will be difficult. I said we were in the seminary and we bought or we tried to buy a bus. And by the time we left the seminary, 2 buses were bought after the year we left. But what you don't know is that we were nearly sacked because of that. Because the rector did not understand the means we were using to raise the funds. It was too quick, too fast, too well done for his liking. And he was thinking that we may be doing something that is not right. So he nearly sacked us. So you may be a leader doing the best you can, and yet it will not be appreciated. You have to be resilient. As a leader, you have an incredible opportunity to change someone's life every single day. Leadership is never about tearing people down. It's all about helping people become the very best versions of themselves. Always remember that to be a leader is a privilege. When you are in leadership role, your influence may affect the trajectories of people's entire careers and often their lives. Whatever position you find yourself in, the difference you can make, even if it is in one person's life, is worth it. Don't joke with it. Take it seriously. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any questions? Do you have your hand up? Yes. Oh, go ahead. It's okay. I think that I developed all of these while I was growing up. As a little boy, as a little mass server, sometimes we go for mass service meeting and they say, while the secretary is writing the minutes, let's let one of the young ones also write a minute on the side. What were they doing? They were teaching us something. When they form committees, they put the big boys there, and then they add some of us, the younger ones, to them. When we sit in the meeting, we may never contribute a single thing. But as we listen to them, we learn from there. And then when they are going around hiring a bus for us to go for a program, we go with them. We see their frustrations. As we are going along with them, we learn from there. When I was in JHS, or those days JSS, I was an assistant school prefect. I would have learned from there. When I got to the seminary, I became SRC president. I would have learned from there. So sometimes you are learning even without noticing that you are learning. And you will meet a situation that is similar to something you have met before. And you will just pick on what you have learned before, or what you have experienced before, and it comes in handy. So I think that I picked up a lot by accepting the little responsibilities I came across while I was growing up. And that is what has made me so. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I have you said something under point 3 where you said a good leader must be an example. And with the little that you have, you gave to people when they needed it. Is there a case where people see this and they take advantage of it?
Oh, yes. They do.
How
Last Sunday, I was not in the parish, and the young man who brought me here says that there was a man who came in looking for me. And when the man said, I want to see Father, and he said, Father is not around. He said, no, I saw him enter the mission house. Go and call him. Now, this is a beggar who is entitled. Now, this man has been coming to me for the past 2 months. How did it start? The first Sunday he approached me, somebody had given me an envelope after Mass. So he said he was hungry. I said, oh, somebody just gave me this. I opened it and I saw and I pulled the first one without looking, and it was a 200 CD note. So I gave it to him. I think that was my biggest mistake. The moment he got 200 CDs, he knew that, Papa, we pa. So what happened? Every Sunday after Mass, he follows me. So I am his bank for the week. So he comes to me for money, then this week is sorted. Then he will come on Sunday, then the other week is sorted. Then he will come. And he's been doing that for a while. So he did that for 3-4 Sundays. And I think the 5th Sunday when he came, I actually didn't have money on me. So when he asked, I said I didn't have money on me. His face changed. I said, look, you don't work for me. I don't work for you. I am doing you charity from the charity others have done for me. And for those who don't know, I am not paid. We are not paid. So we live on what others give to us. So when I have, I give. If I don't have and you have this posture, then don't come to me again. You get what I'm saying? But it should not stop me from helping the next person. Because if you don't take care, because of someone's attitude, the next person who is actually in need may not get your help. So it's true. People like to take advantage of you. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I have another question.
Okay.
So, he said a leader communicates, encourages people. And with the example with the media team, So with the example of the media team, you need people that are skilled. What if around you no one has the skills you need to?
So it cannot be that the people around you cannot do anything. It can't be. Maybe the people around you cannot do media stuff. But the people around you can help you in some other way. I hope you get me. Now, when you don't have people around you who can do a particular thing that you need, then you may have to outsource it. So you have to get others who can help you out, which means that you may have to pay. But better still, you can train those who are around you so that eventually they will take it up. Even though they were very good, that media team, I had to take them somewhere to learn animation so that they will have extra skill. In my church, we had a keyboardist, and the way they can do too known on us, because that skill is not something you can find easily. Now, this young man is the only one who can play the keyboard, so he was flexing us. Eventually, I had to sack him. Now, I am training a lot of young ones, plenty, so that they learn how to play the keyboard. I may not have the results today, but in the next 3-4 years, when I am no more there, the one who will come as a priest who will be there will be spoiled for choice. He won't have the problem that I had. And that is one other thing about a leader. You don't want people to inherit the problems you have seen. You want to solve at least some of them. Are you okay? Okay. Any other question? Yes.
Okay, so my question is, as a leader, when do you know it's time to stop? In the sense that if you are in an institution and you are leading them, when do you know that my time is over, on to the next?
Okay. So, in my church, a number of times I have mentioned that maybe next year I'll not be here. And then people start doing, what is he talking about? They say the best time to leave the stage is when the applause is loudest, isn't it? So you should be careful. The people who praise you today can get tired of you tomorrow. They say in Chi that even when water gets stuck at a place for long, it begins to smell. When you're at one place for too long, even those who used to appreciate you don't appreciate you anymore because they get tired of you. So don't stay too long. As for how long is too long, it is only you who will know. So I am ready. I was telling somebody that if the bishop calls me today and says, pack your things, leave your church, go to Vume, or go to Kwashikumama, or go to any of these ones. The moment he says I should pack, I pack my things and I leave. One priest was telling me, my former station is going to lobby for the bishop to bring me there. I said, please, you have left there, don't go there again. They have good memories of you, let them keep it. If you go back there, you may make 1 or 2 mistakes and it will spoil everything you have done before. So they say, and I agree, that the best time to leave is when the applaud is loudest. Yeah. Yes.
So, judging from your presentation and everything, I can see that patience is a major part of being a leader. But when would you say that patience isn't necessary in getting an action or getting a goal across?
Patience is not being slow. Patience is not the same as being slow. But patience is always necessary. Yesterday, after the parliamentary, all sorts of things, a journalist asked Harun Idrisu a question. And he says, you are the one who has caused this. You are the one who raised the issue. And that is why we have this crisis. And even the CJ, Chief Justice, has said that there's a constitutional crisis and all of that. What do you have to say? For about a minute, he kept doing. It was important that he was patient, even in his speech. Because if he didn't speak well, it will count for something, either for, or in this case, against him. So patience is always necessary. But when you are doing something and it is not working, I think that is what you mean. Sometimes you want to go this way. You think this way is the best. You are going. It's not working. And you still say you want to be patient. I cannot tell you when you should stop. But if you're a good leader who is doing evaluation, assessment of where you are going, at some point you realize that I've been going at this for so long and I've gone too far and I'm still not seeing results. Maybe the best thing to do is to move away and go the other way. There is a painting or a picture I saw on social media of a guy who was trying to catch fish, and he was throwing what do they call that? A hook into the water. And he did it this way. And at the side, I think there was only one fish. But just behind him, plenty. Now, he just thinks he's being patient. So he's still here. But all it takes is to just turn this way and he will get a lot. Now, as a leader, no one can tell you that you should do it 2 months, 3 months, or 3 days, 4 days. And then if it doesn't happen, change. If you are doing assessment, you are doing evaluation, you are doing controlling, you will know that, no, this is not working. Maybe let me try another. Thank you. Okay. Oh, yes.
Good afternoon. Please, I want to ask what drove you into the decision of becoming a priest, even while knowing. Let me rephrase my question. I want to know why you became a priest while knowing the priesthood lifestyle is all about leadership and helping people follow God.
If I heard you well, why did I become a priest?
Yes, that's
okay,
the
basically it. Well, I was inspired by the ministry of one other priest who is now a bishop. His name is Bishop John Louis. He was my parish priest for 10 years. Now, what happened? We were young mass servers who go to the mission house and we go to clean, we go to work there and all of that, to do rehearsals for mass and all of that. When we are done, we sit there and we chat. Now, we sit on the short wall and we see people come to his office and leave. Now, when they are entering, we see how gloomy they look. When they come out of the office, whether it is young people, grown-ups, they come out lively. You see that the gloomy face is gone and they're a bit more cheerful. For me, that is where it started. And I told myself, I want to be like this man. But of course, as you go on, you realize that there is more to the priesthood than just wanting to be like somebody. And what has kept me going is my fascination about Jesus himself, eventually. So this is why I became a priest. Basically, an inspiration of another priest. Yes.
That's a very nice story. Another thing I want to ask is, have you ever reconsidered? Like, have you ever been in your mind and said, I could have been doing anything else apart from priesthood?
In fact, when I was in the seminary, I nearly left. And I remember my spiritual director telling me that it is actually part of the process, because if you don't take care, you just go through it. But the seminary is supposed to be a place of discernment. So there should be times when you are considering whether this is right for you or not. And once you are doing a lot of reflection, there will be moments when you feel like maybe this is not the best for me and you want to quit. And then maybe this is the best for me and you want to stay. And when you have actually settled on which is best for you, whether to stay or to leave, because you have done some good discernment, then you are sure of what you are about. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too. You have a question too?
Yes, Father. So I have a question. So I worked with a team, and in the process of the leader trying to assemble the team, he brought on a certain lady who was presumed to have failed in a particular position she was put in. But when he was questioned on that, the answer he gave that sometimes you need a failure experience in your team. I want to find out from you, do you think failure experiences are important when it comes to leadership?
Yeah, but you don't intentionally fail just because you want to learn. But failure experiences are important. That's why I said the leader must also have hindsight. Sometimes you did something and you went right and it didn't go well. Once you have that in your mind, if you're going to do the same thing, you know that when you go right, it doesn't go well. So maybe you want to now try what? Left. Or you want to try going forward. So failure experiences are very important. Those ones also put you on your toes. They teach you that you won't get it right all the time. And then they humble you. They humble you. And then they also give you knowledge, like I said, about where to go. Because the first one, you tried one side and it didn't work. You want to try another side to see whether it works. So yes, instances where you fail will also teach you a lot for the future. I usually say that life is a teacher. Not all of us learn the lessons. Life will teach you a lot. We may fail at one or the other thing. But whether we learn from the failure or not is another thing altogether. Not everyone who has failed has learned from what happened to them earlier. So it is not even an experience for them. When you say I have experience, it is because you have learned from that. Not just because you failed before. Is that okay? Thank you. There's another hand.
Hello. Have you, my question is, have you ever felt like maybe you're a leader, but then you have someone who's above you, and maybe during your term, they are limiting your potential? And if that's the case, what do you do?
Okay. Yes. There are times when that happens. Especially when you are in an organization or an institution or a group where those who have led before are still there. Yesterday we were having a discussion about something similar. Say, for instance, Rollins is still there while John Mahama is president. He has been his leader before. You can imagine. Or now Nanado is still there if Baumia wins, he's a president. Or say somebody is a bishop in my circle, somebody is a bishop, he has gone on retirement, he's still around, he has implemented so many things. And then you have come, you are a new bishop, and you think that what he was doing, you could do it differently. You want to change them, but you are not sure because the guy is still there. And in some cases, he may have even been the one who recommended you for the job. So you feel like you owe him. It is one of the toughest places to be. I have tried doing it this way. I have tried as much as possible going to him to discuss things with him before he hears them in public, and sort of buying his own ideas too, and maybe fitting a little bit of what he is saying into it, and sometimes telling the people that, oh, I even discussed it with him and he gave me some brilliant ideas. Trust me, a lot of the times people want to be acknowledged, and that is all. So that is how I have handled it. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think that's all.